Now live from Palin Music Studios in Springfield, Missouri, it's Wake Up with Greg. Here's your host, Greg.
Hey friends, good morning and welcome to Wake Up with Greg. Happy Friday to you. It's a beautiful day today. Got a little bit of rain, a little bit of sunshine. Oh, we got the music coming back on. There we go. All right. We did that twice. We did that last week too, didn't we?
I don't know why it does that.
Some little glitch in the matrix causing these weird things to happen. But hey, we just roll with it because this is a live show, so we go and have fun no matter what. Happy to be here with you today. It is Friday. It is the end of the first full week of June. Can believe it already. We are, just 2-3 weeks away from the official start of summer. You know, they call it the summer solstice, I think. I don't know. It's where we switch from spring to summer. But the unofficial start was when school got out. You know, that's when everybody's like, okay, it's summer because school's out, so it's summer. But it hasn't been real summery yet. It's been mostly rain. I mean, tornadoes everywhere and just crazy stuff. But that's the weather in the Ozarks for you. But yeah, I think there's a saying. Of course, I think that people use this saying pretty much everywhere they live. But if you don't like the weather in Missouri, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. It'll change. So, but anyway, we had an amazing time last night at the Vision Retreat. It's our company kind of leadership retreat, whatever. So we got performances from all of our folks, and my buddy Nate and I did a little Pure Imagination and some other stuff, so had a good time doing that. Let's see, what else we got going on? Volcanoes blowing up all over the world. What is going on with that? I mean, Mount Etna blowing up. There's one in Japan blowing up. Mount something or other. I don't know. Fujiyama or something. It's not Mount Fuji, but one of the other volcanoes. I can't even get my words right. And then I was just reading about another one last night somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, maybe the gods are angry. Who knows? Let's see, what we got going on too. Well, we got a great show in store for you today. I got some fun stuff, sharing some tenor saxophones with you. For those of you new to the show, of course, welcome on YouTube and Facebook, all you folks out there. We do this every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central to share the coolest instruments on the internet for you. Had a great interview last week with my buddy Jeff from Mac Sax Mouthpieces, so be sure to check those out. Next week we got my buddy Eric from Blackburn Trumpets and Pickett Brass Mouthpieces. Will be on the show next week, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be Friday the 13th. We'll have to do something crazy for that. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll do it. But we do this all the time, and we love to hang out with you guys and show you cool stuff. So all of this stuff is available for you to purchase on our website at palinmusic.com, or by giving us a call at 417-882-7006, or checking out our Reverb page at reverb.com, or most importantly, come into one of our 10 stores and just say howdy and pick up a saxophone in person from me. I'd be happy to sell you one. Okay, so I think that's all the news that's fit to print. Why don't we remind you to subscribe, to share, to like, to do all of those social media button pushy things that you got to do to help us out so we can help you out. And, we got a mutually beneficial relationship here. So we'll make that happen. Let's say good morning to Jordan. Good morning, my friend Jordan. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Good. Been a busy week working with the
Yes.
Vision Retreat, yeah?
Yep, it's been a very busy week.
Very busy week. You got any big summer plans? You going anywhere for the summer?
Not that I know of yet. We might try and plan a little anniversary trip on the 4th of July weekend.
Oh, yeah, 4th of July weekend. All right. Well, while you're out there, celebrate my birthday because my birthday's on the 5th. So.
Oh, nice.
you have a little glass of wine or something. All right.
For Greg.
For Greg, yes. The old man of store, right? All right, shall we dig into some saxophones?
Let's do it. Before we get to the first one, can you tell us about your shirt and watch today?
Shirt and watch. I've been kind of just blazing past the shirt and watch things lately because, you've seen them all. If you've been watching the show at all, this is episode 226. So we've been doing this for quite a while now. I'm sure you've seen this shirt a number of times. One of my favorite Daniel Cremieux shirts. You know, I'm a big fan of the Paisleys, and we got lots of colors and brightness going on here. It looks like kind of like an ice cream shop, like sherbet ice cream with chocolate sprinkles or something. I don't know. Cool. It's tasty. It's cool. It's nice. Tasty. It's just like a big, big ice cream sundae. All right, so that's the shirt, Daniel Cremieux. I've talked about a lot. One of my absolute favorites. And then the watch. This is going to be. I don't know that you'll. You know what? We're going to try this. This might be a way to be able to see it better. I don't know, but we'll show that to the camera there. This is, you can't really even tell. This is a Titanic-themed watch. If you know me at all, you know that I am a huge fan of the Titanic. And I collect Titanic memorabilia, and I've built models, and I've got books and videos and all kinds of stuff. Found this in an antique store here in Missouri for I think it was only $15, but I've not been able to find out anything about it. Like all of the research, I don't know who made it, I don't know where it came from. But it's really cool because it's got little markers on it to show the time the Titanic sank, which is kind of cool. But anyway, so that's my Titanic watch. So there's that. It's a little narrow band there. You know, I'm not a huge fan of just like super narrow straps or bands or whatever, but it works. Got my coffee rolling. Still missing out on my Hawaiian coffee. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't know if there's a shortage. I don't know if it can't be tariffs because Hawaii is part of the United States, so I don't think it's a tariff situation. But I don't know, maybe it's just a supply issue. Who knows? We'll find it again someday. One day. All right. Saxophone time. Let's dig into some of these cool horns. These are all Yamahas today. I've been showing a lot of Yamaha stuff lately because, and as I've said multiple times, we're kind of stepping up the whole Yamaha game around here with the new Shokunin program, the artisan program, whatever you'd like to call it. So I've got a lot of Yamaha stuff to share with you. We're going to just start off right out of the gate with this amazing tenor saxophone. Had a nice young lady come into the store last night, and she took home one of these saxophones, the YTS 62. So this is Yamaha's kind of, I always call it like the workhorse Yamaha horn. It's, for all intents and purposes, it's Yamaha's Mark VI in a sense, but it's the tried and true, road-tested, factory-perfect saxophone. The do-it-all saxophone. It is one of the great ones. The YTS 62. This is the Series 3 at this point, Mark III, I believe. So they've been making this model for, well over a couple decades now, I think. They keep doing minor tweaks and improvements on it, but it's hard to improve perfection, really. This one is the standard lacquered finish model. So what do we have here? We've got your full poster rib construction. We've got your high F sharp and front F. We have the rocker style mechanism on the left hand. We've got beautiful hand engraving on the bell. We have Italian leather pads, domed plastic boosters, and then we have synthetic mother of pearl key touches. So this is a pro horn, kind of a entry pro, if you will, I guess, as far as the price point is concerned. Very affordable as far as the saxophone world is concerned. My friend Jessica, who picked one up last night, she got the amber finish one, which is my absolute favorite. I was going to show that one today, but she bought it yesterday. So we have this one instead, which is totally fine, but very classic, very original. And again, this is a multi-purpose horn. You can play every style of music you want on this. You can use this for classical, you can use it for jazz, pop, rock, funk, blues, R&B, whatever you want to use it for. It will do it all and do it well. Intonation is rock solid on these, which is what Yamaha is known for. I mean, they are just dialed in. But probably the most flexible horn in their arsenal as far as what it can do and what it's capable of. So there it is. That's the Yamaha YTS 62 Mark III in the standard lacquer finish. Check it out. Live on the website, palinmusic.com, or all of those other places I told you already. Boom. All right, that's a one and done. Oh, I'll show you the neck. It comes as a complete outfit, of course. You get the neck strap, you get the polished cloth and some other accessories, owner's manual, hard rubber mouthpiece, and cap and ligature and all that. Of course, you can't do without the neck. Speaking of necks, we don't have them in yet, but they are on the way. Part of this Shokunin program, we've got some accessory necks, some alternative neck options for you on saxophones. I've got some alto necks and tenor necks on the way, available in silver plate or solid silver neck, and then we've got a gold-plated neck coming, and then a few others, I think. So if you want to dial up your saxophone sound, we've got some really cool neck options coming. And once those arrive, I will show those to you for sure. And maybe we'll do get Austin or somebody to do a demo video that shows the differences in the necks on there. So, all right, so that's saxophone number one. What is next, Mr. Jordan? Can you share some music with us? Okay, yes, I can share some music with you. This is an artist that I was reminded of recently by my good buddy Nate. I used to listen to this guy a lot back in the 80s. Now, I'm dating myself by saying that, but this gentleman, he's a legend, or is a legend, was a legend, I don't know, something like that. The great Grover Washington Jr. Grover Washington Jr., one of the pioneers of the smooth jazz movement. He and George Benson and Wes Montgomery, kind of the trio there, the power trio, kind of created, I don't know if they created it, but they certainly formulated it in the late 70s, early 80s. And then it has, branched out from there to be one of the bigger musical genres around. But Grover was an absolutely killer player. He was primarily an alto player, and he played a Selmer alto, but soprano, he played soprano and tenor too, and I think, although his alto was a Selmer, I think his soprano was like an H cuff, I think, Superba, vintage horn, which I've never played one, but I hear they're pretty amazing. And same with the tenor. I think his tenor was the same that. But sad story about Grover Washington is he sadly passed away in 1999 at the age of 56, the same age I am now, which is kind of frightening, really. After just doing a show, he collapsed and died of a massive heart attack. Sad, brutally sad. Because he was only 56, so he still had decades ahead of him of amazing music. So. Terrible loss for the music world, but we still have his music to share. And this particular song from this album of the same name is one of his most famous pieces and one of my personal favorites, called Wine Light. And it came out in 1980. The video we're going to share is a live performance that he did in 1988 of this song at the Newport Jazz Festival in Newport Beach. I think it's Newport Beach, California. Is that right? Or is that Newport, New York? I don't know. I think it's West Coast. Don't quote me. I need to research these things a little bit better. But anyway, let's roll. This is a long song. It's about 7.5 minutes long. We're not going to play the whole thing, obviously, but we'll hit some snippets of it for you and show you just the awesomeness that is Grover Washington. Jordan, take it away.
Columbia recording artist, Grover Washington Jr.
one thing about smooth jazz, it's one of those styles. It has its detractors, as most music styles do, of everything kind of sounding alike. And I think that's just a very unfair overgeneralization about smooth jazz, because there is so much great music and so many great performances in it. You just really need to tune in, because it's kind of that music that kind of makes you tune out, really, because it just kind of, it's comfortable, it's kind of free and light and just airy, and so it makes you relax, makes you comfortable, but which is a great aspect of it. But it's also, there's a lot of power in it and a lot of nuance and a lot of amazingness. Now, Grover, one of the big sax players of the 80s, of course, the other names that come to mind, of course, David Sanborn, my buddy Jay Beckenstein from Spyro Gyra, some of the top tenor players like Michael Brecker and whatnot, but just Dave Koz is another one. Dave Koz is still killing it out there. Really amazing player, but he kind of came to the scene in the 80s as well. Gerald Albright. I mean, there's many other killer smooth jazz. And again, I'm not a real big fan of that term, honestly, because it's smooth, but there's just more to it than that. So let's why don't we bump ahead a little bit somewhere into the middle of the song and catch a little bit more of it. That'll probably suffice for that.
Before we get down here, I'd like to introduce everybody. Yeah,
the whole thing, but that is Grover Washington Jr., the legend. The song "Wine Light" from the album of the same name. "Wine Light" came out in 1980, and this performance from the Newport Jazz Festival in 1988. So I have added that to the Wake Up with Greg playlist already, which is on Spotify for you guys to check out whenever you like. It's a public playlist, and we've got, probably 18 hours worth of music on there now, so well over 200 and I think we're probably close to 250 songs on there, because I have added a few extras, a little bonus material for you, if you will. But check that out on Spotify, and you can, I don't know, you save it or subscribe to it or like it. I don't know what you do. Download it, whatever, something like that. All right, so that's my music for the day. Give it a listen. Let me know your thoughts. Little sip of coffee. Let's throw down saxophone number 2. Jordan, have you ever heard of Grover Washington Jr. before today?
Yeah, I've heard of him. I can't say that I probably, I wouldn't be able to name a song if you asked me to. But
well, that's all right. Learn something new every day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this saxophone, it's the exact same saxophone I just showed you. No, not really. It is the same model saxophone, the YTS 62 Mark III, but this one is in the beautiful, shiny and bright silver-plated version. Let's take a look at that. I have a special place in my heart for silver-plated horns. I play a vintage silver tenor sax, which I've shown on this show, I believe, maybe once before. Maybe, that doesn't seem very stable there. All right, so here we have the YTS 62. All the specifications are identical on this one as they were on the last one, but this is the bright silver plating. But you've got the gorgeous hand engraving on the bell there. You've got the high F sharp front F key, rocker mechanism on the left hand, poster rib construction, all your fine adjustments throughout, leather pads, plastic domed boosters, synthetic pearl key touches. She's a beaut, Clark. Now, what the, I crack my own self up. I do that a lot. I just apparently think I'm hilarious. I hope you guys do too. But if you don't, at least I'm going to laugh. All right, so silver plating. So what does the silver plating do for you besides making the horn just extra sparkly? Sound-wise, it's kind of a counterintuitive kind of thing, because you think when you add like a bright finish to a saxophone like this that it's going to brighten up the sound. Well, that's not actually true, because silver is a little bit heavier metal, and when you add that silver plating to a horn, it actually darkens the sound a bit, which adds kind of warmth and depth and texture to the sound that I just absolutely love. So if you're looking for that, rich kind of sultry sound in a saxophone, a silver-plated horn is going to get you there. And you throw like a sterling silver neck on that or something, and then you are smoking. So yeah, I love these 62s. Just they're so great, so reliable. They sound amazing, super flexible. You can do anything with them. But I just love the silver-plated version. It's been a while before they kind of branched out with some finishes on these. So we've got the lacquer and the silver that I'm showing you now. We also have the amber finish, which I've talked about being my favorite finish. But they're now also offered in an unlacquered version, so a raw brass version, which is really cool as well. I have the alto in stock for that, with the which has no lacquer on it, which makes it just very free blowing. It allows the brass to kind of vibrate and resonate a bit differently. A lot of people, like take vintage horns and they'll remove the lacquer from them for that very reason, to kind of free them up. So there's a lot of, speculation, a lot of different views on that, whether the lacquer imparts that much of a difference to the sound or not, but you just have to test it for yourself and see. I don't know that my ear is fine-tuned enough to be able to tell the difference between one with or one without lacquer, but for me, it's more the visual of the horn there. So there it is, the Yamaha YTS 62 Mark III, once again in the bright silver plate, live on the website, palinmusic.com, or, like I said, give me a call, 417-882-7006, or check out our reverb page. Here's the neck. Got the really cool Yamaha medallion on the neck there with the, let me get that a little bit lower there, you can see that. The crossed tuning forks for the Yamaha logo there, which I think is just really cool. But yeah, there you go. That is saxophone number 2. Bless you. Jordan's got the sneezes. Look out. It's allergy season. I'll tell you what, I am an allergy sufferer. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, but I finally seem to have got it a bit under control with some good medicine from my doctor. That's good. That I take on a daily basis to keep it on the down low. Man, it's worked really well this year. I mean, last year was like one of my worst allergy years on record. I could not breathe no matter what, but it's a fun one. So that's spring for you, though, Yeah. It'll die down a little bit here over the summer, and then once everything starts drying out and all the leaves start falling again, it kicks back up, because you got mold and all other kinds of crud in the air. Yep. All right, what is poking me in my thumb? I don't know. All right, what's next, Mr. Jordan?
Do you have something cool to share with us?
I do. Well, I think it's cool, so you have to decide for yourself if you think it's cool. We talked about it being, summer is upon us, and, what do we do in the summer but we barbecue, right? We barbecue. So, I am a collector. Maybe you can call me a hoarder. I don't know. But I like to collect vintage barbecue cookbooks and other ephemera and dishware glasses. I've found some really cool beer mugs, vintage, like 1950s beer mugs that have barbecue themed stuff on them at an antique store. But I found this book. I wish it had the dust cover, because I'm sure it looks a lot better with the dust cover. But this one, Sunset Magazine, which has been around for, I think, probably over 100 years now. The Sunset's Barbecue book. But this is extremely cool. First of all, I think this one is like from 1943 or something like that. Does it say here? Yeah, first printing December 1938. This printing, maybe 1944, somewhere around there. But so it's a barbecue book, so it's got, recipes and whatnot. But the coolest thing about this book is it shows you, it has plans in it that shows you how to build an outdoor barbecue. And this was back, before the Weber kettle and, when things kind of kicked off as far as outdoor grilling in the 50s and 60s. These are like major brick and stone structures to cook outside. But it's so awesome because the plans are here. So you've got the materials list. If you want to build something, I mean, look at these different things. They're so cool. And I found this, like I said, in the antique store. I think I paid like $3 for it, maybe something like that. I don't know. But yeah, if you're one that likes to DIY and build all these different barbecue designs, so extremely cool. So anyway, so that's that book, and then here's another one, the Barbie Queen, something like that. It came in this book. I don't know. Anyway. And then this other one, Better Homes and Gardens Barbecue Book. I get these mostly for the pictures, because the pictures and this one, somebody loaded this up with all of their own other favorite recipes and stuff cut out from other magazines and whatnot. But let me see. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that weenie plate there, right? A crown weenie, beans and weenies. Let's see, what else we got here? There's some really cool things. Apparently frankfurters and hot dogs were the thing back in the day. But, ooh, donuts, really? Here we go. Classic 50s, grilling some steaks. Everything's falling out of this book there. I don't know what's going on. Holy smokes. Let's see what else we got. When did this one come out? This one is from 1956. So, lots of tips and tricks in here on how to grill this stuff. I gotta find there's gotta be just like an epic barbecue picture in here. I know, I'm gonna find it. Ooh, Jello molds, that's fun. Eesh. They did some crazy stuff in the 50s and 60s food-wise. Look at this big pot of meat there. That's a crazy one, right? All right, anyway, so that's that book. And then I've got one other book that I bought, and now I bought this in the 90s. People of my generation, we think of the 90s as like, 10, 15 years ago, but the 90s are now 30 years ago. This is a book I absolutely love. It's called Patio Daddy-O, and it is 50s recipes with a 90s twist, all right? So we've got a 40-year gap between the 50s and the 90s. In 10 more years, we could rewrite this book, 50s recipes with a 90s flair and a 2020 or 2030 spin. I don't know what you want to call it, but great recipes. And of course, this is all full of, vintage barbecue pictures, barbecue. In fact, I think I found that apron at an antique store a couple of weeks ago. Still in the package. It's kind of cool. Other she-devil dogs. There's a good recipe for you with some aprons there. But no, one of my absolute favorite recipes in this book, which I make all of the time, is called Dragon Breath Corn on the Cob. Bam. So if you are a fan of corn on the cob, you need to try this recipe. It is super easy. You've got unsalted butter, you've got grated lime zest, salt, cayenne pepper, and fresh lime juice. Mix yourself a compound butter, slather it all over the corn, wrap it in foil, throw it on the grill, and bam, you've got an amazing barbecue side dish. Check out the vintage stuff there. So anyway, you went to the camera and I took it away before there, all right? Isn't that cool? A little tablecloth there with some corn on the cob. All right. So Patio Daddy-O, this is now a vintage barbecue book as well. I got dozens of others at home, but that's kind of my thing. One of my nicknames is Griller Greg. I don't know. It's what I do. So, all right, so that's the fun. That's the something cool. Get out there and get outdoors and cook some meat.
All right.
That's what you need to do. Or some corn for the summer. All right. One more saxophone? All right.
Let's do it.
Put these gloves back on here. And this one is also a Yamaha, but it is their next level up. This is their top of the line, cream of the crop. They make two different models of saxophone in the upper tier, we'll call it. They have the YTS 875 EX Custom, or Custom EX, which is what this is. And then they have the YTS 82Z, which is the Custom Z. Kind of positioned as the 875 being kind of the classical horn, the 82Z being the jazz horn. But again, to each his own. You can play whatever you want on any of these things, really. Love the case on this saxophone because it is kind of that old school hard shell case, leather. I mean, it may not be real leather. I'm pretty sure it's not, actually. Well, the corners might be. But brass hardware, latches instead of zippers. My kind of case. Absolutely love that. But let's take a look at this guy. Bam. Talked about allergies. Now my nose is running. All right. So here we go. This is the YTS 875 EX2 Custom EX Pro saxophone. Tenor saxophone. Same bells and whistles as the previous models, but with some added bonus features. Of course, the ergonomics are laid out a bit differently. The bore is a bit different. Gives you a little different sound. Intonation, of course, rock solid. But with this one, you get the Italian leather pads. You get metal tone boosters on this, I believe. Yeah, pretty sure those are metal tone boosters. I'd have to double check that to be sure. You get real mother of pearl key touches. You get more deluxe hand engraving on that. You get more fine adjustments throughout. You get the pearl on the your rocker, left-hand rocker keys as well. High F sharp front F. You have a solid nickel silver neck receiver up top, which adds a little bit of mass to the top. It does affect the tone a bit. Also gives you a kind of a unique look there. I don't know if you can see that, the difference on there up on top. And tilt that in such a way. The lighting is a little weird in here to kind of get the best detail on there, but maybe that's something we can figure out later. But guys, this is top of the line professional grade from Yamaha. This is the YTS 875 EX2, and it's a beautiful horn. Absolutely love this. This one's available in multiple finishes as well. This is the standard lacquer. It is now available in the amber finish. It is available in silver plate. It is available in the black lacquer finish, which is a stunner of a horn. I don't know if it's available in the unlacquered or not. It might be. But anyway, so yeah, lots of finish options on these as well. So if you have any questions on these whatsoever, give me a call, 417-882-7006. I'd love to sit and chat about saxophones all day long. Yeah, so that is the YTS 875 EX2 Custom. Boom. And this, of course, comes as an outfit, as the rest of these do. You get the neck, you get the hard rubber mouthpiece, cap and ligature, all that good stuff, neck strap, all the fun bells and whistles. So there it is. That's the saxophone trio for today, the tenor saxophones. Like I said, next week we will be looking at some Blackburn trumpets, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be fun. And so where does that leave us, Mr. Jordan?
Can you share some wisdom with us?
Share some wisdom. I may have shared this wisdom before because I really like this quote. But it's been a long time, so, and most of you probably haven't seen it or heard it. So this is a quote from the British-American poet by the name of W.H. Auden. W.H. Auden is a fantastic poet and really known for kind of the rhythm in his poems, which was kind of cool. He's got a famous poem called Funeral Blues, also known as Stop All the Clocks. If you are a Richard Curtis fan of Richard Curtis films and you've seen the movie Four Weddings and a Funeral, one of my all-time favorites with Hugh Grant and Andy McDowell, there's a scene in there where there's the one funeral scene where this poem, Stop All the Clocks, is recited at a funeral. And it's sad, but it's a special poem. Anyway, so W.H. Auden has this to say about music. He says, music is the best means we have of digesting time. Music is the best means we have of digesting time. So, yeah, digest that. Take some time to just ruminate on that and think about it. Because music marks time throughout history. I mean, you can... even on a personal level, you can think of music throughout your lifetime autobiographically of how you mark the periods in your life through music. And yeah, that's one of the just really amazing things about music. There are so many amazing things about music. Music is the best means we have of digesting time. Thank you, W.H. Auden, for that deep thought. So, folks, that wraps us up for this week. Thank you so much for the pleasure and privilege of your time, taking your time out of your day to spend a little time with me, having some fun and seeing some cool stuff. So I really appreciate you. I love you guys. Remember this, helping people make meaningful music is what we do. And when you're ready, this guy's here for you too. We'll see you next time. Have a good week.